Good morning, one and all. I welcome each and everyone for today's webinar on recent trends in electronics and communication engineering. Before we start with the session, let's have a glimpse of the department.
Cook Institute of Technology, CIT, established in the year 1999, sponsored Kodava Education Society with the primary aim of providing quality technical education to the aspiring students. Located in the picturesque constrained environment and spread across 34 acres of lush green campus. CIT, approved by AICT, affiliated to VTU Belagavi, and recognized by the Government of Karnataka. Electronics and Communication Engineering Department was established in the year 1999 at CIT. The vision of our department is to develop high-quality electronics and communication engineering professionals with global competence. Our faculty members are specialized in various fields of electronics, communication, and machine learning. CIT college life will give you much more than a degree. Join us to be one among the technocrats of tomorrow. For admissions, please contact 9611 55 457 or 8197 02 6039.
Thank you, sir. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dream come true. Good morning, one and all. It's my pleasure to be the moderator of today's webinar. I, Ms. Sitara Chondama, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, on behalf of Cook Institute of Technology, would like to extend a warm welcome to one and all present here. We appreciate your time taking off from your busy schedule to join us for today's webinar on emerging trends and career opportunities in electronics and communication engineering, a glimpse, organized by the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from Cook Institute of Technology, Panampet. The webinar is designed to help parents, guardians of second PU pass-out graduates who are interested in pursuing a career in engineering. Established in 1999, Cook Institute of Technology is sponsored by Kodava Education Society and aims to provide an technical education for students from Kodagu district and other parts of the country. Affiliated to All India Council for Technical Education, New Delhi, Cook Institute of Technology is also approved and is affiliated by Vishveshwaraya Technological University, Belgaum. The 34-acre campus is nestled in a between of lush greenery, and the students' education and experiences at CIT not only prepares them for the career success, but also helps them discover a field that they are passionate about and dare to lead it. 3 men were laying bricks. The first man asked, "What are you doing?" He answered, "Laying some bricks." The second man was asked, "What are you working for?" He answered, $5 a day. The third man was asked, "What are you doing?" He answered, "I am helping to build a great cathedral." Which man are you? Now, I request Mrs. Dechakam UP, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to present the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It's my privilege to welcome the dignitaries and the participants to the webinar on emerging trends and career opportunities in electronics and communication engineering, a glimpse, organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Cook Institute of Technology, Panampet. We are honored to have with us Dr. M.C. Karyappa, Vice President, Kodava Education Society, who has graciously consented to be the guest for this webinar. A genial welcome to you, sir. I am happy to welcome Dr. M. Basavaraj, Principal, Cook Institute of Technology, who always shows a sense of support and appreciation in developmental activities and aims towards providing positive and effective learning environment to students. A cordial welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
We are delighted to have with us CIT alumnus and our guest speaker, Mr. Dinesh S., Senior Manager, Cognizant Technology Solutions, who will be emphasizing on the career opportunities in electronics and communication engineering. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am happy to welcome CIT alumni, Mr. Chidambar S. Nanavate, Secretary, Shri Shaileshwara Vidya Kendra, Ballari. Welcome, sir. And Mr. Manjunath M.R., Network Operation Manager, AT&T, Bengaluru. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to welcome our another guest speaker, Mr. Brijesh C.A., Just Robotics, Bengaluru, who is with us to focus on the emerging trends in electronics and communication engineering. Welcome, sir. I would like to cordially welcome Dr. Divakara S.S., HOD, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, who always strives towards students' learning and growth. Welcome, sir. A special welcome to all the aspiring student participants and their parents who have shown keen interest in attending our webinar. A warm welcome to you all. A warm welcome to Dr. Kavita PC, convener of this webinar, who instigates activities for the institutional development. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I heartily welcome staff members of EC department and various other departments. I hope all the student participants out here will get inspired with the ideas that can make them choose a suitable path for their bright future. We would like all the student participants to join our institute and feed your hunger for knowledge by exploring the resources available in the institute and start to shape your future for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Electronics and communication is an instantaneous and illusionary contact that creates a sense of intimacy without the emotional investment that leads to a close relationship. An engineer is one who organizes the design in construction of any devices or artifice the transforms our physical environment to meet the recognized needs. Now, let me welcome Dr. Divakar SS, HOD, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, who will provide an overview of the Department of Electronics and Communication. Over to you, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮಹತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಅವಲಂಬನೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಲು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಉಪಕರಣಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವಲಂಬಿತರಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಎಂದರೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಉಪಕರಣಗಳಿಲ್ಲದೆ ದಿನದುಡುವುದು ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವೆನ್ನುವ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬದುಕಿನ ಅವಿಭಾಜ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರವನ್ನು ಆಯ್ದುಕೊಂಡರೂ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಕಾಸವಾದಂತೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪದವಿ ಪಡೆದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಖಾಸಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಇಲಾಖೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಲಭಿಸುತ್ತವೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾವಕಾಶಗಳು ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾವಕಾಶಗಳು ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತವೆ. ಶೀಘ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಬೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಂತ್ರಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಜೀವನದ ಭಾಗವಾಗಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಉಪಶಾಖೆಯಾದ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಪಾತ್ರ ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರೋಬೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೂ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಯಥೇಚ್ಛವಾಗಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ವಿಶೇಷತೆ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ನಾವು ನುರಿತ ಮತ್ತು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಸ್ನೇಹಿ ಬೋಧಕ ವರ್ಗವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕೆಲಸದ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಲು ಸದಾ ಸಿದ್ಧರಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಸರ್ವಾಂಗೀಣ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೈಟ್ ಸಂಘವಿದೆ. ಎಲೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್. ಈ ಸಂಘದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಧ್ಯೇಯವೇನೆಂದರೆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾಯಕತ್ವದ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕತೆಯ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಥಕವಾಗಿ ವೃದ್ಧಿಗೊಳಿಸುವುದು. ಈ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನದಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಕುರಿತು ತಿಳಿಸುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ದೇಶದ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ IISc, IIT ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳಿಂದ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ನಿಂದಲೂ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪಠ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆಯೋಜಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಅಂತಿಮ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳು ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾವಕಾಶವಿದ್ದರೆ ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಸ್ಥರ ಮೂಲಕ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ನೀಡುತ್ತವೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಹೊಣೆಗಾರಿಕೆಯ ಅರಿವು ಮೂಡಿಸಲು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷವೂ ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸ್ವಂತ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ನಡೆಸಬಯಸುವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ, ಮೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮದು ಮಾಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದಂತಹ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಈಗ ಈ ಯೋಜನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ಮಿಸಲು ಅಪಾರವಾದ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಂತ ಉದ್ಯಮ ನಡೆಸಬಯಸುವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ನೀಡುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಒಡಂಬಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದರ ಫಲವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲವು ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಉದ್ಯಮಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೋಷಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಬಯಸುವುದೇನೆಂದರೆ, ನಾಳೆಯ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರಾಗಲು ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ವಿಭಾಗವನ್ನು ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you, sir. The scientist can discover a new star, but he cannot make one. He would have to ask an engineer to do it for him. Electronics and communication engineering, peace be amplified, world be rectified. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome our principal, Dr. Basavaraj M., to address our webinar attendees. Over to you, sir.
So you're in mute.
You can hear.
Yes.
Audible, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is.
Sir. So very good morning to all. The chief guest of today's webinar, Dr. M.C. Karyapur, sir, the Vice President of Kodava Education Society, Mr. Dinesh, the alumni and the Senior Manager of Cognizant Technology Solutions, Bangalore, Mr. Chidambar, the alumni, the Secretary from Sri Sala Vidya Kendra, Bellary, Mr. Manjunath, MR, the alumni and the Manager of Network Operations, AT&T, Bangalore, Mr. Brijesh, the CEO, the Just Robotics, Bangalore, Dr. Divakar, the HOD of an Electronics Department, Dr. Kavita, the Professor in the ENC Department and the Event Coordinator, the staff, parents, and the students of today's webinar. I'm extremely happy that the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering is conducting a webinar on emerging trends and career opportunities in electronics and communication engineering as a glimpse. And just now, our HOD, Dr. Divakar, explained, and our distinguished alumni are going to explain the importance and the opportunities and the requirement of an EC candidates in the MNC companies, and how important the EC department will play an important role in the day-to-day life of the present era. So I don't want to touch upon the details of an electronics because the great experts are there in their field. As a principal, I feel a great honor and pleasure to share a birdview of a Coorg Institute of Technology. Before I sharing the birdview of a CIT, I want to say that how the CIT is different from the other institutions. And I hope after listening to this webinar from the experts, I feel that you choose an ENC course in our institution, and you feel happy that I have selected the right place as my career as an engineer. Regarding the Coorg Institute of Technology, I started in the year 1999 with the great visionaries of Kodava Education Society, and present is completed at 21 years, which is located in the scenery picture of Kodava district in the lush green area of Western Ghats. The main vision of this institution is to provide the quality education and to evolve as center of excellence in the technical education by focusing on a creativity, the innovation and entrepreneurial skills. The mission of the institutions are to impart affordable quality technical education to especially rural students to emerge as a technocrats of a global competence tomorrow. Second one, to identify and encouraging the students to perform to their full potential in the field of engineering. The third mission is to develop and strengthen the entrepreneurial skills among the students. The last one is to provide a conducive environment and experiential academic learning interspread with an extra and co-curricular activities. Keeping the mission and the vision of the CIT, this college has started with the following courses: mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and computer science and engineering. This year we added one more course, which is of the latest trends in the technology. It is computer science and engineering, in which specialization is in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And you must be aware that only 10% of engineering colleges have got this course in Karnataka. And I'm proud to say that this course is available in the Kur Institute of Technology. To talk about the academic curriculum, since the college has been affiliated to VTU Belgavi, the curriculum is being followed and prescribed by the university. Apart from the curriculum, we train our students about the university syllabus by arranging the value-added courses which will help the students to strengthen the skill sets during the 4 years tenure. To understand the theory or concepts studied in the curriculum, the industrial visits were arranged, and to be a part of industries, the technical seminars, the workshops, the conferences, and the latest innovations were conducted by inviting the experts from the industries and the renowned institutions like NITs and IITs. I'm happy to announce that our college has bagged 5 ranks from a VTU Belgavi a few years ago, and this year I'm happy and proud to announce that Miss Anusha, the KP, the secured 5th rank in the Department of Computer Science from a VTU from whole Karnataka. And one more achievement did by our student, Mr. Gillan Karambaya, the mechanical department student, designed and fabricated the environmentally friendly two-wheeler vehicle from the scrap and made a battery operated vehicle. And this has been broadcasted in almost all the TVs. So regarding the faculty, that is a human resource. Any institution ranking is based on the number of the parameters. So one of the important parameters to measure the ranking of the institution is the human resource that is by the faculty. As I said earlier, this year we secured rank for our institution. It is only because of the extraordinary faculties in our institution. Every department has a doctorates. The department of electronics have got 3 doctorates, 1 professor and 2 associate professors, and of course 7 assistant professors, and few assistant professors, few are pursuing their PhDs. To motivate the faculty members of the college, every year, the teachers are awarded as the best teachers for their incredible works at the college and the university levels from the management. Apart from the academic curriculum, our students achieved the state and the national level awards, the extracurricular activities like sports like in the hockey, quiz competitions, etc. To talk about the infrastructure, like one of the infrastructure is the library. So we have got a very good infrastructure library with the natural limitations, with the area more required than the norms of the ASCT and the VTU. And we have got a very good number of the textbooks and the reference books. And we have got more than 3,500 volumes, and which are more than the norms of an ASCT and VTU Belgavi. And important is we provide a book packing system to the students, and we provide 5 books per semester other than the regular book issues. There is no need to purchase any books from the outside. And we have got the national international journal are available in our library, which will help the students and the faculties to update the latest technology and the knowledge that helps to do the research works. And of course, we are the member of an VTU consortium for a journal and e-learning materials. And one of the important infrastructure is the laboratory. So every department has got a state-of-the-art laboratory facilities, which satisfies the needs of the VTU and the ASCT New Delhi. Over and above, we have high-end modern equipments that will help the students to learn and work for their minor and major project works. And modern lab equipment scatters the needs of the consultancies, especially in the Department of Civil Engineering, to take up the consultancy works of the complete Kodava district. And of course, the few consultancy works we are doing in the Department of Electronics and the Mechanical Engineering also. I'm proud to say that the college has established the Center of Excellence Laboratory that we call as a Robotics Lab in association with Just Robotics, Bangalore, where today's speaker will explain the importance of the Robotics Lab and the importance of the Electronics and Communication Engineering. And this, with the help of this lab, where our students and faculties are doing the research works. A green initiative like a solar power system of 130 kilowatts was established in our campus, where students study the importance of the solar energy applications. Along with this, every department has a department association activities, and the active clubs are there. That is around 10 clubs in the college. So there are two, that is a photography club, music club, eco club, a technical club, road track club. Along with these clubs, or of course our NSS club is actively working. Under the technical club, the students will take the initiative to work on the projects or the latest innovations. The main intention of having these type of clubs is to make the students to exhibit the hidden talents and continue their hobbies to keep the students always active. The second backbone of the institution is a training and placement cell. Professor Krutika K. She's heading the Department of Training and Placement Officer. And this year, I'm proud to announce that this year we have got more than 60 students placed in the MNC companies. To name a few: HCL, TCS, Wipro, Intellipart, Seacom, Elevation, and many more. The college has signed an MOU, that's a member of understanding, with a number of companies and education institutions. And these MOUs will definitely help the students to undergo the internship training and acquire skill sets, both in the hard and soft skills. These skills will definitely help our students to place a good number of MNC companies, both in the hard and softer companies. Under the TPO cell, we conduct in the soft and hard skills from second year onwards. And the TPO department every year inviting the good number of companies from Bangalore and Mysore are invited for placement activities. And we are tied with the nearby colleges for the pool campus also. So also one of the important, the body is an IST chapter. We have got, of course, this chapter, that Indian Society for Technical Education, wherein we got a lot of benefits for both for the students and the faculty members by taking the membership as an annual or the life membership. And we have got an IST chapter in our institution, and wherein we conducted a good number of activities under this IST chapter. Finally, as a great visionary says that the scientist dreams to make the world better, and where the engineer makes the dream true. That is, the scientists investigate where the engineer creates. Therefore, I, on behalf of the CIT, request every parent, admit your ward, a son or daughter in your institution. Finally, as a principal of the CIT, I pledge, along with my team, that we take all the responsibility of your child admitted in our college by making your child to acquire the skill sets, the logical thinking, and other positive attitudes, so that he or she will be a top technocrats with a good management skills to serve the society with a good human values. So I thank all the members of the electronics department to share a few words with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing all your thoughts and ideas with us. A person who is happy is not because everything is right in his life. He is happy because his attitude towards everything in his life is right. Now, it is my absolute pleasure to bring on to the webinar Dr. MC Karyappa, Vice President, Kodava Education Society, to address our attendees. Over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Not. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Good morning to one and all.
Ma'am,
Because of this lapse in the audio, I could not acknowledge the welcome by Techaka. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Professor Basaraj, the alumni who have come here, Mr. Bijesh, whom I have met earlier, the staff of Electronics and Communication, convener Dr. Kavita, and students and parents who have logged in here to know something about the importance of electronics and communication in the future. First of all, I must, my association, being a doctor by physician, my association with the engineering college goes back nearly 50 years. When I joined KMC Manipal, that's where the engineering college, Manipal Institute of Technology was there. And there I used to interact with a lot of students from the engineering faculty. The engineering has evolved in the last 50 years, as you all know. It is not compartmentalized anymore. Previously, we had 4 clear divisions: civil, mechanical, electrical, and then chemical used to be one of the branches. But today, there are so many branches of engineering which is offered by the VTU and AICTE, it is actually mind-boggling. It is difficult for a child to understand which to choose, which not to choose. There's a lot of confusion in the minds. But what I have seen in the evolution of engineering studies over the years is today it is not compartmentalized anymore. A civil engineer needs the backup of software, designing. He needs the support of the mechanical engineer, construction, and it's not possible. A mechanical engineer cannot say that I will make a dabba with 4 wheels and a steering wheel and the car is done. It will move. It won't move. You need the electrical components. Today, most of the newer vehicles have the software on which you drive the car. A computer science graduate has to know both software and hardware. He has to know, if he has to support a civil engineer in construction, he has to know what are the basics there, what are the requirements. When you understand the requirements, can you give the correct feedback through your software or hardware requirement. So today, it is completely intermingled, intermixed, where a department cannot be completely compartmentalized. To that effect, if I'm not mistaken, the VTU also has changed its curriculum, saying there has to be a lot of intermingling. And this concept of each one understanding the other department and how useful it is for him to take it forward is what has been implemented in the VTU. Thing is, the alumni. I'm extremely happy to see the alumni participation today. The backbone of an institution is the staff and the students, and the next most important support pillar is the alumni. Their inputs, their stimulus, their encouragement is what is going to change the lives of children who are going to emerge as engineers tomorrow. The type of work which and how best they should also adapt and go forward. the students and the parents, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, PUC ಆದ ನಂತರ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದರ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಬೇರೆ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ PUC ತನಕ ಓದಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೂತಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆ ತಿನ್ನುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಕೂಡ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ ಎಂಬ ವಿಷಯ ತಾವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಲೆಯಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಡಿ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಬಂದು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗು ಉತ್ತಮ ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ನಂತರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅವನು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನು ಹಲವಾರು ದಾರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ನೇಹ ಭಾವ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವರ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಗು ಇನ್ನೂ ಉತ್ತಮ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಎಂದು ನಾನು ನಂಬಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಕಂಡದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. The students have to put in a lot of effort. Please remember, like PU ಓದಿ ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಗೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನ್ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಯ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಸೇರಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸೇರಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಸೇರಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಸೇರೋ ಮೊದಲು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸೇರೋ ಮೊದಲು ಆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ EC ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ 10-15 ವರ್ಷದ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೇರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ word of a few words of the staff. ಪುನಃ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯವರಿಗೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಆ ಆವರೇಜ್ಗಿಂತ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ತರದ ಸಹಾಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಂಬುದೊಂದೇ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ. So the children are greatly benefited if the staff, because unlike cities, we have staff who are full-time. And that is a big advantage for the children, because they can always clarify their doubts and take it forward anytime. ಇವತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಲವಾರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಈ ಕಳೆದ ಒಂದು 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕಳೆದ 1 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅಂತೂ ವಿಪರೀತವಾಗಿ ಈ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವ ಕಾಲ ಮುಗೀತು. ಇವತ್ತು ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ ಅಥವಾ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮುಗ್ದಾಗ 1 ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಕತ್ತು, ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುವಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿ ಅವನು ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾಲ್ಕೈದು ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಈ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇವಾಗ ಸೇರಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ, ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಊರಿನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅವರು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ the staff of electronics and communication, the idea, as I said, is industry readiness. So everything has to work towards that. The children have to be supported, that the employability of a child is immediate as soon as he or she passes out of the institution. It's not that they have to go for another separate training in future. With these few words, I thank the Electronics and Communications Department, Dr. Kavita in particular, for having me over briefly to spend a few moments with you and express my thoughts. The pandemic is not over. All of you, please stay safe, follow all the COVID protocol, stay healthy, do your work well, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your expertise views for our attendees. The secret of having smart ideas is not sitting around in a glorious isolation and attempt to plan for an impressive future, but to get more parts on the table. Robotics Lab has been established by Cook Institute of Technology in association with Spinter Technology and Gist Robotics Bengaluru as a part of Innovation Center. Aspiring robotic engineers can gain hands-on experience in the better environment with a better infrastructure. There is no point in coming to an event unless you learn something with a lesson. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Brijesh C.A., CEO, Gist Robotics Bengaluru, who is an entrepreneur, an educationalist in waiting, and passionate teacher. Above all, he has been working in the field of robotics and automation for just an albeit close to a decade now. Mr. Brijesh C.A. completed his bachelor's in engineering in electronics and communication engineering in the year 2007. From building advanced robotic systems for conducting workshop for practically everyone under the sun, be it kids, teachers, faculties around the board. He has been doing it all with an absolute sense of ease, all this with a strong inclination towards sustainable development in unmissable as he finds interest in the field of diverse as architect, green energy, and electrical vehicles. Someone who advocates green revolution is not a distinct dream, but a need for an hour. Gist Robotics was recently announced winner of the Karnataka state government's coveted Elevate Call to program under the Startup Karnataka program for the DREAM project, Make Many Robots, aiming to democratize STEM education. Now, I welcome Mr. Brijesh to give an insight of the emerging trends and robotics lab to our participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, let me just share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to this seminar and allowing me to share my thoughts. And it's been a pleasure, and it's always a happy feeling to come back to CIT to talk and interact with students, and especially future engineers who are looking at taking up engineering. And thank you, everybody. And my interesting topic that I want to talk about today is the emerging trends in robotics. Now, robotics is something that we've been hearing for a very long time, and very, very few colleges have robotics or artificial intelligence as a specific branch of engineering, and allowing it to help students learn it as part of a course. Now, where does this all robotics come from? At least for we Indians, we people from the South, is specifically looking at this particular movie, which inspired a lot of them to say, I want to learn robotics. So these are the questions that came up. What is robotics? I want to learn robotics. I want to build robots in all of it. But very rarely we realize that movies are an inspiration on one side, but movies do not give you the actual realities of what robots are. So these kind of robots don't exist at all, right? So these are only in movies that we see. Transformers, this is iRobot, and this is Real Steel. So what are movies doing? They're inspiring us to build things. They're telling technology is coming. We will be needing robots tomorrow. Robots will be replacing our jobs, and all of are these. We already have them for the last 10, 15 years, and we've been using them for like washing machines, microwave ovens, air conditioners, ATM machine. And all of these things are robots that you've been using for a very long time. And similarly, you can also predict what it's gonna be like, okay, provided things around us are the same and technology and everything remains the same. But nobody predicted that robot, give me a minute. Yeah, so this is how robots are actually struggling today. The very reason I put up this picture here is to show you that robotics is all not that easy and going. You tell one day robot came 5 years, 6 years, you work and it's ready. It's not ready. People are working on technologies for the last 20, 30 years to be able to do what it is today. And in fact, a very good example I usually give everybody is the story of Asimo. The whole idea of building a robot that can walk started in 1986 by Honda. They created a branch called Honda Robotics, and they started working on Asimo. And it literally took them 16 years to get Asimo to what it is today, right? In 2002, Asimo did its first demo where it opened the New York Stock Exchange telling it's all ready and all that. That was the first public demonstration of a walking robot. It took them 16 years, literally. And Boston Dynamics started somewhere around 2005, and it took them 15 years to get to this robot. You would have probably seen videos of these robots making a flip, walking around and all that. It took them so many years, but it took them just 3 months or less than 3 months to create a technology that wanted what we needed for the pandemic, right? So these are robots that are helping social distancing in Singapore. They go around in the park, and whenever they find people standing next to each other, it gives an alert telling people are standing next to each other, move away, right? It took them just about 2 to 3 months to shift from what was earlier a robot like this that took them 15 years to make it something like this, which just happened in about 2 to 3 months. Now, this is exactly what is the emerging trends. You don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. Nobody knows what it's going to, is pandemic going to get over? Is it going to become worse? Or we might have a new thing coming up, or there's something else coming in, right? We don't know. But what is more important is to have technologies in place and to understand. So that's where engineering comes into picture. Any branch of engineering, be it electronics, computer science, mechanical, civil, or any other branch of engineering, it all helps you understand the fundamentals of how you can solve somebody's problem, right? It could be electronics, it could be program that you write, or it could be anything, but engineering is more important. Now that all of you have chosen to become engineers, choosing the right branch, choosing the right kind of an platform for you, or the right institution, is very important. Now, this is an actual picture from a Amazon fulfillment center from not India, but abroad, from where most of your Amazon parcels come from. How is it that they're able to give you delivery in just one day? You order today, tomorrow morning, it's at your house. It's only because of these robots. And now a few other things that are happening is we get to hear things about people telling robots are going to replace our jobs, right? That's not the case. So everywhere robots need human beings to interact with. So these are called cobots, where a robot is working alongside a human being to lift heavy weight. So a new rule in the industry that's come up, it says you cannot allow a worker to lift more than 20 kg or 30 kg. This particular number, according to the safety standards, regulations and all of that. So you need robots to do that for you. But at the same time, robots are not doing everything, right? So robots are not you have to forget the myth that robot is replacing future jobs and all that. Similar was a thing when computers came in 1990s. People said, oh, we're going to lose our jobs. But imagine the amount of computer engineers who are in India. It caters to a huge amount of economy in India. A few years ago, people believed that computers are going to make all of us jobless, right? So similar is the case with robots. Robots are going to come. The robotic revolution is happening, but they still need you as engineers to be able to make the robots work. Now, these are different robotic arms. Robots in factories. So these factories are fully run by robots. No person enters the shop floor. And once production is over, once a month, they go in to do some maintenance, and then again the factory is shut down, locked, so that the robots do all by themselves. These are robots that move around and also be able to pick and place objects. Now, this is robots that specifically used in defense systems, which have cameras and very high speed cameras that can track and move around in different environments. Okay, these are like the robots that I told you, which help you lift heavy weight and move around things in places. These are come under the category called autonomous ground vehicles, or autonomous guided vehicles, or mobile robots, which basically move from one place to another within a closed location. And it's similar to your smart cars or self-driven cars, but they are all indoor. Okay, this is the story that I want to share with all of you. This is called a lathe machine. Okay, if you are all getting into engineering, irrespective of your branch, you will all get to use this machine in your first year engineering. Okay, now this machine is called the mother of all machines, because using this machine, you can actually manufacture another lathe machine. Very few other machines, very small tools are required, but you can actually manufacture another lathe machine using this. So that's why it's called the mother of all machine. And the whole industrial revolution during the Second World War that was happening was primarily because of not the second, both the wars that were fought. The industrial revolution from the 1800s were actually happening because of the lathe machine. They were able to make a lot of new machines with this. Now, this was the lathe machine a few hundred years ago. Okay, now all you had with you was only electronics that you can think about is the motor that is rotating. Okay, nothing else. Everything else is mechanical. Now, this is the lathe machine that's used today. Everything is automated. All the buttons and controls and everything that you see is actually this is called a CNC, computer numeric control, and this is actually a lathe machine, but everything is electronics based. So electronics is doing the revolution. You need electronics for making any kind of automation, and this is a very classic example of how technology is changing. Right now, how a small drill gun, which was a handheld crank drill gun, drill machine, is now changed to all the way to a CNC, which actually does job on its own. So what you see here in the machine is different drill bits, different sizes. So it does different operations on thing. And one of these can actually be manufacturing your phones that you have in your hands right now. So this was me about 12 years, 13, yeah, 14 years ago, right in college, first year of engineering, right in college when we started working on robots and participating in robotic competitions. And this was very recently when we actually built a full-fledged robot. And what I've been doing for the last 14 years has resulted in building actual robots. And the last 14 years of journey into building robots has taught me a lot of these things. Robotics revolution is happening on a daily basis. Things are changing, and engineering is something that will actually help you understand why it is important. You may not be just an electronics engineer, but you will be working on a part of robots that probably could be into programming, or it could be control systems and all of that. Or you could be a software engineer writing specific programs. You could be a mechanical engineer building the hardware for the robot. You could be a civil engineer who could be analyzing structures and all of that. You could be anything. You could be anything, but understand one thing: robotic revolution is happening. If you don't stick onto it, or if you don't adjust accordingly, then you're going to be the one who will be losing out. So with keeping this in mind, CIT has ensured that students don't miss out on the interdisciplinary aspect of engineering. That's exactly what Karipa sir said just now. Is engineering is not all about one branch. Like we were engineers, we were electronics engineers, but we spent a lot of time in the mechanical labs because we had to make and manufacture something, right? So that is important. So robotics lab at CIT is actually helping you understand the importance and the need of a combination of all of these branches, be it programming, computer science, be it structural mechanical engineering, or be it electronics, PCBs, circuits, sensors, motors, and all of these things. So robotics is one thing which will make a fusion of entire things. So you become a full-fledged engineer and not just a specific branch engineer. So this is important. Only then you'll be able to solve problems that we are creating today. Everything that we're creating today is a problem because a solution that we invent becomes another set of problems, and we are solving it. So if you don't have the right technologies, and if you don't learn the right technologies from the right place, then you will not be problem solvers, but you will be only a consumer of information, a consumer of technology. So saying this, I would like to keep my a small talk on these trends in robotics. You can reach out to me on these numbers in case you have any questions. I can help you understand what branches are like and what to choose and what are your best options. But never to miss out on this one particular important thing, that CIT, as I've seen in the last few years, is very much focused on helping students realize and visualize their dreams. And that's exactly what I love about the overall aspect of being able to be an engineer at CIT. All the very best. This is my number, this is my contact email. You can reach out to me in case you have any questions.
That one I told, no, she told you are. That is for old one, no? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights about Robotics Lab. Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work. The key is to develop a vision to see it. The two most happening entities for modern technology, the electronics and communication, shows flexibility for the emerging technocrats of tomorrow to choose the software field over the hardware field also. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Dinesh S., Senior Manager, Cognizant Technology Solutions, to share his thoughts for various opportunities with electronics and communication engineering in the future. Before that, Mr. Dinesh S. has completed his telecommunication engineering from Cook Institute of Technology in the year 2004. His current works at Cognizant Technological Solution as Senior Manager. Before that, he has worked with KPMG and Tech Mahindra, and Dinesh has always been an active member of our Alumni Association and has conducted technical sessions on optical communication for our students in the year 2011. Now, I would request Mr. Dinesh to share his thoughts for our participants about the different opportunities available for our department. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Very good morning, everyone. ತುಂಬಾ ಜನರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಐಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ನನ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ 15 years in IT field. ನಾನು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಟೆಲಿಕಾಮ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್. ದೆನ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮೈ ಕೆರಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೆಲಿಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ನಾನು ಟೆಲಿಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 8 ವರ್ಷ ಇದ್ದೆ. Then this is what our Karyappa and Brijesh was saying. Technology keep changing. So ಅದೇ ತರ ನಾನು ಟೆಲಿಕಾಮ್ ಇಂದ the trend was cyber security. Then I moved to cyber security. Now I'm heading cyber security and risk management in Cognizant Technology Solutions, Bangalore. So before that, I'll try to share slides which will be very insightful. You guys can see this?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So welcome all the millennial kids. I know the current generation wants to are very eager compared to what it was a decade ago. So ಇವಾಗ ಇರೋವರೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ನಾವು ಓದೋದು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ಈವನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೇ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇವಾಗ ಓದೋದು 5 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಆಗಿರತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್. ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಅಂತ. ಗಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೆಂಚ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಈ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ 2016 to 2020 ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲಮ್. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ENC ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಓದ್ತಾರೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಅಲೈನ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಸೇಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ. So everything starts with embedded engineering. So this is already a part in your curriculum. Then comes IoT anta ide. Sorry. IoT ide. Then blockchain ide. Then from 2011 you're getting semiconductors. You're getting you have hybrid cloud. You have machine learning. So ಈ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದು ನಿಮ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್, IoT, ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್, ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಇದೆ, ಮಿಷನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಪೈಥಾನ್ ಇದೆ, VLSI ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಓದ್ತಿರೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 5 years ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋನಾ ಗೋ ಅವೇ. So ಈ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 5 to 10 years the same trend will continue, but new thing ಬರುತ್ತೆ, like ಹೊಸ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, but whatever is existing it will go on for another 5 years. The trend will go on. I can see somebody scribbling. Please stop it. Yeah. So see, ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು this slide ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. What I want to show is after engineering, your focus will be ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. You can become you can go for higher studies, or you can become an entrepreneur like Brijesh, or you can go for government job, or you can go for a private IT firm. So 70% people fall in this bracket, that is private IT ದಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದು ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಐ ಟಿದಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ IT ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 2 options. ನಾನು IT ದಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನ್ IT ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು HR ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಜಾಬ್ಸ್ ನಾನ್ IT ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, IT. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಇದು ಈ ಫ್ಲೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಫಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ, IT ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ IT ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ. ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿದಲ್ಲೂ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ IT ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಏನ್ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. If the people are interested in software engineering, you wanted to become a software engineer, you have to have all this knowledge of C, C++, digital image processing, machine learning, Python. Python is a basic one. Cryptography. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ಎಂಬೆಡೆಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, VLSI, DSP, computer communication network. There are few things which go both with the hardware and software, that is VHDL, digital signal processing. Like how our Karyapas are told, none of the engineering stream can work in silos. Very one subject ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So it will be like you have to handshake. Hardware ಜೊತೆ software handshake ಆಗೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ handshake ಆಗೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then you can go and become an IT network engineer. IT network engineer ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have network support ಕೊಡೋದು, optical fiber communication, computer networks, computer architecture. So all this comes under network administration ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Any doubts? If you have doubts, please chat box ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ 15 years. ಸೊ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಲೇಟ್, ನಿಮ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು KPMG ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ 5 years, ಟೆಕ್ ಮಹೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So currently I'm with Cognizant. So these are the companies which our my batch people are working already. So these are the companies in which electronic communication people are working here. So this is just a gist of it. If you want to go to the government sector, then you have to pass a couple of exams and you can enter the field of government. So private sector is already 70% of the people who go for engineering, who do the higher studies, will opt for this private sectors and join some of the other MNCs. Another 10% will become an entrepreneur like Brijesh. So this is very insightful thing which I had interacted with student in the year 2011. So avaga optical fiber communication was very popular. So I have brought a lot of equipment, hardware alla tandu. So this is me. I had showed to the student optical fiber ಅಲ್ಲಿ fiber ಒಳಗೆ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, how a communication happens, so what all this ಅಂತ. This was very insightful interaction. So ಇದೇ ತರ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. CIT ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಆಫನ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ನ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Seniors will have the opportunity to interact with the student. So ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು we will showcase ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಓದ್ತಾರದು ಅಲೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಷನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ವಿಚ್ CIT is providing here. So I wish you all very best. So if you have any doubts, I'll stop my screen here. If you have any doubts, there's nothing in the chat box as well. So if you have any clarification, please ask me. I'll try to resolve your doubts. Parents ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ any question ಬಂದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ. I'll hands raise ಮಾಡಿ, I'll unmute you and you can have a discussion on this. If nothing,
we will have a question and answer session at the end, sir. Then
okay,
we can take up the questions.
Okay, madam. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. To be a leader in technical training, CIT also focuses on power, innovation, and entrepreneur skills while providing quality instructions. If you are interested in modern technology in emerging field, the Department of Electronics and Communication is the right place to start with. Now, on the platform, I would like to invite Dr. Kavita PC, a professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to give the overview of the admission details. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. We cordially welcome all the participants to Coog Institute of Technology. Our institution provides very supportive and atmosphere for young technocrats to build their career. As you all know, so our delegates have given an insight on our institution and the department. CIT was established in the year 1999 and it stands out with following unique features. The institution provides very supportive, eco-friendly atmosphere to achieve academic excellence, integrated with co-curricular and extracurricular activities for overall development of the students. The entire campus is powered with 130 kVA solar power plant. The institution was established by Kodava Education Society to provide quality technical education at an affordable cost. So now let me provide you a glimpse of eligibility and fee details to take admission in CIT. So first, let me highlight on the eligibility to take admission for PE course. So the basic eligibility is pass in second PU, that is prescribed by the state government or PU board, or 12th standard, 12th standard as it is mentioned in the CBSE or any equivalent exam with English as one of the language. And also the basic eligibility criteria is 45% aggregate marks in physics and mathematics. Along with one of the subject, along with physics and mathematics, either chemistry, biotechnology, biology, electronics, or computer science. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪೋಷಕರು ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಬಿನಾರಿಗೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳಲು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 45% ಎಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಬಯೋಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ಬಯಾಲಜಿ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಓದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ PUC ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಆಡೆಡ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನೀವು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನುಳಿದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ನ ನೀವು ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 5% ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ SC/ST ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ 40% ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ 40% ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಫೀ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನೋಡೋ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಸೀಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೀಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ DTE ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮತ್ತು AICT ಇಂದ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ out of available seats, 25% will be under management and ComEdK 30% and CET 45%. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ 60 ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 15 ಸೀಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ComEdK 18, CET ಅಲ್ಲಿ 27 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪೋಷಕರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಂಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದು ನೀವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ComEdK ಅಂಡ್ CET ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಫೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಫರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್, ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಸದುಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 55% ಎಬೋವ್ 75% ಇದ್ರೆ PCM ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ ಎಬೋವ್ 75% ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಲ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PU ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇರುವ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ 75% ಮೇಲೇನೆ ಇದೆ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ 55,000 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗೂ ಬಿಲೋ 75% ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 5,000 ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ 60,000 ಗೆ ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ KCT ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ CET ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ ComEdK ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ JEE. ಈಗ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬರೋದಾದ್ರೆ ComEdK ಅಥವಾ JEE ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೊ ದೇಶಾದ್ಯಂತ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೀಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ನೀವು CET ಬರ್ದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನೀಗ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 50% ಕೊಟ್ಟು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೀಟ್ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೋಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದೇ ತರ ComEdK. ಸೊ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ComEdK ಫೀಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ರು ಇದನ್ನ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಫೀಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು ಸೀಟ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗದಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ತಡ ಮಾಡದೆ ಬಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಒಂದು ಸದಾವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು CET-ಗೆನೆ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ CET ಫೀಸ್ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಫೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ CET ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಇದೊಂದು ಫೀಸ್. ಇದು ಅರೌಂಡ್ 65,000 ಬರುತ್ತೆ CET ಫೀಸ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಸೇರಿ ಇದು 91,840 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 91,840 ಇದು CET ಮೂಲಕ ಬಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸೀಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು ಏನ್ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಸೊ ಜನರಲ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು SC/ST-ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ SC/ST ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು CET ಮೂಲಕನೇ ಸೀಟನ್ನ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನಃ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಾವು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೀಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ CET ಥ್ರೂ ಸೀಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಅದು ಬುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಫೀಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 91,840 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು CET ಥ್ರೂ ಬರೋದಾದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಳೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಏನೇ ಒಂದು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಲುಪುವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸದುಪಯೋಗ ಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಈಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ 60 ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 15, ಕಾಮೆಡ್ಗೆ 18, CET 27 ಇದೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೇನೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂದುಳಿತ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿಭಾವಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು SNQ ಕೋಟಾ ಅಂತೇವೆ, ಸೂಪರ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರರಿ ಕೋಟಾ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಇಂಟೇಕಿಗೆ 5% ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 60 ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 3 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ 6 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳದ್ದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ 6 ಲಕ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು CET ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು. CET ಬರೆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಟ್ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ SNQ ಕೋಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಟ್ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು CET ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಫೀಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಅರೌಂಡ್ 4000 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಟಗರಿಗೆ 65,000 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕೆಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ 4000 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 30,000 ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು KCET ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕೋಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನೋಡಲ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನೀವು ತಹಶೀಲ್ದಾರ್ ಕಚೇರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇದು dte.karnataka.gov.in ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳು ಲಭ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವಿರುವ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೇನು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಫೋರ್ಡೆಬಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 26,500 ಸೇರುವಾಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10,000 ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಫಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ 26,000ದಲ್ಲಿ 10,000 ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಫಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಗ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು 16,500 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪವರ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದು 3,000 ರಿಂದ 3,500 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೆಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಒಳಗೇನೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಸದವಕಾಶ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ PPT ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಈ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ತರ ಈಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ನಾನ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಉತ್ತೇಜನ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಾರಿಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಗೆ ಅರಿವು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಫುಲ್ CET ಫೀಸ್ ನೀವು ಆ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಗೆ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರೀಸ್ಗೂ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ 25,000ವರೆಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಫೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದು 25,000 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಆದ್ರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ SC ST ಗಂತೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಫ್ರೀ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ಗೂ ಅವರು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಫುಲ್ CET ಫೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಫೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನಃ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಗಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದುವ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಗಿನವರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರ್ಗ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಳೆದ 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ದಾನಿಗಳು. ದಾನಿಗಳ ನೆರವಿನಿಂದ. ಮತ್ತೆ ದೀನಬಂಧು ಚಾರಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈಸೂರು ಅವರೂ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೊಡವ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇದೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದನೂ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಇಂದನೂ ಹಾಗೂ ದಾನಿಗಳ ನೆರವಿಂದನೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರದಲ್ಲೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲೋನು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ EC ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ PPT ಟು ಯು ಆಲ್. Okay, so we cordially welcome you all to join our institution. Thank you one and all. Sitara, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. An institute of higher education like Cook Institute of Technology is a partnership among students, alumni, faculties and administrators, donors and trustees, neighborhoods and more to build a community and a culture. The friendship we make with Cook Institute of Technology can last a lifelong. We believe that our students could continue to benefit from our vast and varied networks long after we leave. Now it's time for the participants to raise their queries as the floor is open for discussion. With that, I would like to introduce Mr. Chidambar S. Nanavat, Secretary, C. Saileshwara Vidya Kendra Bellari, and Mr. Manjunath MR, Network Operation Manager, ATT, to the discussion panel. Let us hear from our alumni, Mr. Chidambaram S. Nanavat. What makes CIT as an institute so special, as you have your own academy, Sri Saileshwara Vidya Kendra Bellari, spreading knowledge and enlightening young minds? Over to you, sir.
Sitara, I think due to network issue, he is not there online. You can proceed.
Okay. So, moving right along, it is my pleasure to introduce our alumni, who is also the Secretary of CIT Alumni Association, Mr. Manjunath, Senior Manager, ATT. Sir, the attendees are excited to hear from you that how did CIT prepare for your career, and also we would like to hear few highlights on CIT Alumni Association's support for the institute.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to share my personal experience with the CIT. So then I'll come to the agenda or the objectives of the Alumni Association. So this is a good platform, like where I would like to thank Mr. Kavita PC, and also one of the mentor before me joining any IT organization, that is Mr. Dinesh. I don't think so there is no best platform than this one to thank him, because I definitely he remembers me when I started searching for a job, how he has helped me, how he made me understand what are the different criteria. Like he just put it in one PPT today, but those days it was just over the telephone. He used to explain me. So definitely it will be in I would like to thank him first, and also Kavita PC, and also Divakar sir, everyone who has been a part of my journey today, what I am for. Coming to the Cook Institute of Technology Alumni Association, I would like to mention this one. This is a group of former students that have the goal of fostering a lasting connection with one's alma mater, as well as promote the welfare of the college's alumni. The aim and objectives of the Alumni Association are to bring together all old students of Cook Institute of Technology to share their experiences with each other, to maintain and update the database of all alumni of the college, and to interact with them. By interacting, what we do is we utilize a rich experience of old students of the college for the benefit and progress of the present students, to provide guidance to the present students in their endeavor for better employment and higher studies. We also concentrate, to promote the campus placements through the old students working in reputed IT companies, as we have a couple of them in this webinar. And also, we arrange seminars, debates, workshops to ensure that the present students are aware of latest technologies and to support them to build their career. The Alumni Association achieves these objectives by staging an annual program of events and reunions through communications. That's all from my end. Over to you, Sitara. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your insights into CIT and how it is impacting their lives was both fascinating and deserving. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Now that we have heard from our esteemed alumni, who are also our panelists for the webinar, it's time for the attendees to raise their queries as the floor is open for discussion. I request the participants to make the best use of it. Any questions, anybody? So for further any queries, you can please contact the department or the admission section. So with this, thank you all the attendees and the panelists. So now I would like to call upon Mrs. Sushma KR, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication, to present the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
My voice is audible, Sitara?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Gratitude is a wonderful gesture that conveys the deepest meaning. Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone who have contributed to the success of today's program. A heartfelt gratitude to the esteemed management for providing this platform. I express my sincere gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. Basavaraj M, for his valuable guidance and support. Thank you, sir. Cit Alumni Association is a special organ of Cit working for the interest of students and contributing to the departmental growth and institution as a whole. As a brand ambassadors of the institution, you have always been an inspiration to our students. I cordially thank our proud alumni, Mr. Dinesh S, Senior Manager, Cognizant Technology Solutions, Mr. Chidambar S. Nanavate, Secretary, Sri Saileshwara Vidya Kendra, Ballari, Mr. Manjunath MR, Network Operation Manager, AT&T. We are grateful to each of you. I express my warm gratitude to Mr. Brijesh, CEO, Just Robotics, Bengaluru, for the unstinted support. We are ever grateful to you. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt gratitude to our HOD, Dr. Divakara SS, for giving us all the timely help and guidance to conduct this webinar. Thank you, sir. I thank all the participants and parents for your kind cooperation and for contributing to the success of today's program. I thank Dr. Kavita PC, Professor, ENC Department, and event convener for your support and coordination to conduct this webinar successfully. Thank you, ma'am. I thank all my colleagues, teaching and non-teaching, for all your help and wonderful support. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am. For every beginning, there's an ending. And now the webinar has come to its end. We look forward to see you in the next academic year as our stakeholders saying the engineer has been and is the maker of the history. I, Ms. Sitara Chondama, your Master of Ceremony of today's webinar, signing off here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Just bye.
Thank you
everyone.
all.
Have a good one.
Thank you all.
Mr. Dinesh, Manjunath, thank you all the participants, parents, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Brijesh.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome.